time.
I know, John.
All right, after 9,000 technical difficulties, started by when you have too much technology. That's the bottom line. You got too much technology going on.
You're blaming me for having too much technology just because I like to have a nice system and present.
Let me just say, if Marconi had this many problems, radio never would have been invented.
Well,
okay. We're back though. We're on.
This is Husky Hoops. Welcome to Husky Hoops. And I am one of the hosts, the best podcast host in the universe.
That's up for grabs right now.
It's up for grabs.
Right now it is up for grabs, yes. And the next greatest influencer, smash that subscribe button. David Schuman, the Coach Schuman Sports and Entertainment YouTube channel is going to take over the world. Subscribe to it, and Coach Schuman is going to be the next greatest influencer. And with us, as always, the icon, the legend, our featured analyst, the best of the best, Joe D'Ambrosio. Welcome to Husky Hoops.
Good morning.
Yes, it is a good morning, and today is a very big day. I talked with Maria Conlon yesterday, and she obviously told me that the crew is on hand for the game tonight, the women playing Fairleigh Dickinson. But Joe, I was just curious. I was looking at Fairleigh Dickinson, their schedule and record. I did not know. I mean, they were in the tournament last year, correct?
Right.
So have they been Division I long?
Oh yeah.
Oh, they have. Okay.
Yes, they've been in the Northeast Conference forever.
So it's just football that they haven't been D1.
Right.
Okay. Because
there's two different FDU campuses too. There's one that's it used to be Teaneck. I don't know what it.
I was going to say Teaneck, yeah,
but it's somewhere else now. I think as there is their main. It's over there though. It's near Teaneck, and then their football plays FDU. They're out of Florham Park, so that is a completely different campus. So they're really, I guess there's technically different schools. So even though they're part of the same FDU system, so that's why you have one that's D3 and the other one D1. Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, if they were in that same campus, they would have to both be either D1 or be D3, right?
No, not necessarily.
No, they changed the rules.
No, not at all.
Different divisions and different.
I thought if you're basketball. Oh, I guess not. I thought if you were basketball Division I, you had to be at least FCS in football.
No.
Yeah,
that's why Georgetown is FCS, and that's why. That's why I was pretty sure if you had basketball, that's where you had to be. But
it was. They just recently changed the rules.
They did.
That you could be different divisions for different sports. Like where I'm from. In good old Utica University is going Division II in football. They're going to be Division III in everything else, and they're going to be Division I in hockey. So try to wrap your head around that one.
Are you a big Utica club guy, Cully?
No, Joe. No, I'm not.
What is the Utica club?
Did you just mention Utica Club? You know of Utica Club?
Everybody knows Utica Club beverages.
Oh, my God. Wow. That just blew my mind.
By the way, UConn just put out a release. AZ Fudd is available to play tonight.
Yes, I heard that. Maria said that. Maria said that yesterday.
The school just put out a release seconds ago.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome to hear. Maria had told me that yesterday because they did the lottery, and she's considered a lottery pick, which I was surprised because, she's had injury issues and hasn't played as much, but she's still considered a very high lottery pick.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
She was an absolute player. I mean, she
was.
Oh yeah, she's
okay. I had no idea.
She's a stud, dude. Studette, or what would you call a girl? Studette?
She can play. Is the best way to put it.
She's a player.
But now, Maria had also said, now I don't know if this can't be true, but she said Paige has eligibility for a 6th year.
Yep.
Is that is true? Oh wow. Okay. I didn't.
But she's not going to use it.
No.
She'll end up in Dallas.
Well, that was what Maria was saying. That again, I mean, Maria's not an expert, but Maria was saying that Dallas may not be the best situation for her, and
but Becker's is getting to an age where you got to get out with it.
She's.
Would she make more money if she stayed? I'm just curious.
You know what, Coach? A lot of people have said that, and I've heard other people say that's bullshit.
Okay.
So,
because I don't know. I have no idea what she makes. So
she may be an exception because she's got a trillion deals.
Yeah, she does.
Okay.
She does. She does.
That's what I was wondering, because I was wondering if you go to the WNBA and you're not as, let's say, you're not as popular, obviously, because there's already established stars, and
if she's the first or second pick, she'll be popular. And people seem to think that seem to think that when these athletes leave college, they lose the deals that they had for NIL. They don't. So it's in addition, it's in addition to her WNBA salary. So
would she pick up like a Nike deal or something? Like, does she not currently have?
She already has one.
She already has one.
Yeah, they came out with her custom shoes. Yeah, they just made her shoes. That are amazing. I got to see. Obviously, I'm getting Chris in trouble, but that's okay. He won't mind. He's used to it. Chris gave me a tour of the building, and he showed me the special shoes that she has, and they're and she was so nice. They gave her 50 pairs, and she provided her teammates with all of her shoes, which I thought was really.
I don't know her, but people speak marvelously about her.
Yes, Chris does. Chris adores her. Chris said that she's very polite, respectful, does not have an ego. You would never think that she is who she is.
Right.
And she's been a joy to deal with.
Yep, that's what I hear.
He just feels bad for her because she literally can't go to class. Like she can't walk around campus because
she's bombarded like that, and
yeah. She's got a security team. I mean, she had a stalker. I mean, she's had it pretty rough.
I'd hold off on pretty rough. There's been issues. The kids who grow up in the inner city have it pretty rough.
Yes,
she's had it. She had the stalker.
Yes.
But I mean,
rough.
She seems lovable. I would say she's had it. I would pump the brakes on had it pretty rough.
She's had a couple challenges, I would say.
Yes, that's a better way to put it.
Yes. Thank you, Joe.
Joe,
you're making
outside of the stalker thing. Is she like is she like bombarded when she goes to class by people?
Yeah.
Listen. Now I'm the old man on the porch because I went to school when Ray Allen went to school.
I'm just telling you what I mean.
Friends with them, like people didn't bombard them. I don't remember them getting bombarded. You know what I mean? Like, obviously they were very popular, but I don't remember them getting bombarded. So,
no, Chris said that she has to take like all online classes because if she walks around campus, she just, gets mobbed. Because you got to understand, like,
is that how it is for the boys too?
No. She's universally loved. If you go online and look up, Google Paige Becker's autograph and see what the prices are for it, that will tell you.
I'm gonna call your bluff.
No, I don't buy that.
Look at her autograph and how much they go for.
Well, all right. So this you're talking eBay here.
I looked on Amazon.
I see like $299, $67, $99. Here's my thing on eBay. Okay, I could be wrong. When I go on eBay, there's a lot of stuff that's sold for certain prices that do not sell. Period.
Correct. Yes, because they don't get the offers.
The only reason I know that is because when I had the All-Star game I ran, I had Johnny Manziel and Marcus Mariota both played on the same at their heights of popularity. Played on the same team in one of my All-Star games, and they signed a bunch of stuff. I had a bunch of stuff, but I just as an experiment put it online for like all their other stuff was going for like a couple $100. I just kind of mirrored it. It didn't sell. So it did sell. So
I see one here that says signed photo, $19.99.
Okay. I was looking for the girl that I may or may not be seeing. And it was like I looked on Amazon, I looked on eBay, I looked on I think I even looked on Etsy. The cards you could get fairly cheap, but I wanted to get a picture or a jersey, and obviously that's going to be more expensive.
Well, here's a page. This is on eBay.
Yeah.
Paige Becker's signed autograph, 8x10 photo, COA, JSA, whatever that crap means. UConn, Connecticut basketball, $399.99.
Yeah, that's what I was.
But you could go, but that's fine. But you can go somewhere and get her autograph for $19. You don't have to spend $399.99.
Yeah,
correct.
No, you're right. But I know her memorabilia is very popular. And
like the jersey, I bet you that those might sell for more because when you're throwing in like other stuff with it, like an autographed jersey and a picture on it signed, and it's all framed, really nice framing. The framing itself and the praise is costing the person making it $50 to $100 itself, right? So they're charging, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Let's put it like this: a Mickey Mantle card is still worth more. So
no, it is. It is. Sure.
Let me just say this, and I don't want this to be taken the wrong way, but this is a lot of money to pay for somebody who's never won a championship.
That's what I said. That's what I said. I said that.
And that's not all her fault.
No, it's not. She's had injuries, and
although Caitlin Clark didn't win a championship, right?
Right.
So
correct.
And they're paying her probably even more than I think they were 1-2 last year as far as who's getting paid the most.
And again, this I'm separating this autograph memorabilia with NIL deals. NIL deals have nothing to do with winning the championship. I'm just pointing that out. That's all.
I point it out all the time. I agree with you.
When people ask me who's on your UConn Mount Rushmore, I don't put Paige Becker's.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think if she hadn't had the couple of ACLs,
Steve, let's go down. Well, it doesn't matter though, Dave. She had it.
I'm just saying. Do you think she would have already won one? Maybe at the.
You can't say that.
Okay.
You can't say that.
No, I agree with Joe. I would put. I mean, it's obviously Diana. It's obviously Maya Moore.
Tina Charles,
Sue
Bird, right? Nafisa Collier. You could even, you could even go back to Rebecca Lobo and Jen Rosati and Nikisha Sales.
Absolutely,
all of whom have won championships.
I agree. I think the championship is most important.
I think there's something that plays into that. And David, to go back to your point before, hopefully we get to the men, is that she had 2 NCAA tournament full runs when she was.
She did.
And they got to the Final Four both times, but didn't win. That's all.
Right.
And it's not to demean her ability under any stretch, but it's just pointing out a fact.
No, I agree. I
believe that Paige is someone that actually, even though obviously she's a great scorer, she could do a lot of different things. But because she's not physically as strong as some of the superstars,
she's not as aggressive.
Even though she is strong for her, like what her frame looks like. I mean, she's very strong for what her frame looks like, but she probably doesn't weigh as
looks
much.
Skinny.
She's light,
very,
right?
very skinny. Yeah.
She needs. I think she's got to have that other close to her level superstar paired with her to get over the hump and win a championship. Like
not at college. I don't think she needs it at college.
Well,
and she's got it. Sarah Strong now.
Sarah Strong was really impressive.
She's got AZ Fudd coming back.
And AZ Fudd coming back, which will make a big difference. And
hopefully Griffin and Ducharme come back at some point. And the big girls, LL is starting to play well. And the Princeton
because South Carolina just bangs you around. You know what I mean?
But she's on the perimeter. They're not banging her around on the perimeter.
She's not getting inside. She's not getting to the hoop on those teams.
No, she's got quickness though. She's quicker than people give her credit for.
Well, that's why
I'm sure she is. I just think she has a hard time and getting to the hoop against those guys. Those kind of.
Well, let me ask you this: who doesn't have a hard time getting to the hoop against South Carolina?
That's why they're number 1. Yeah.
Well, I thought even though Clark didn't win, so it's kind of a similar thing, I guess. But I thought she was able to get to the hoop against bigger physical teams. Just because she seems to be a little bigger, stronger. I'm not talking about height wise, but just her sturdier. Like Diana could get to the hoop against. She's a little sturdier.
Yeah,
Paige is. I mean, she really is. I think is. Look, as far as a human being a woman, right? The slimness is great, but it looks great in clothes and stuff. But as far as physically getting to the basket, that has to be. And if she plays against, a big guard like the one girl from USC, a bigger, strong guard from USC, would she have a hard time with someone like that?
No, because
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but I'm just.
No, she's like Sue Bird. She's got quickness. Sue Bird was not. Sue Bird was basically the same as Paige, and she got to the hoop. It's all about first step.
She had Diana.
I understand that, but Beckers
not
has
the whole
Sarah
time.
Strong.
Yeah, Sarah Strong looked really good.
Sarah Strong is strong.
Joe, what did you think about Sue being inducted into the Hall of Fame?
I guess I don't know the qualifications because I would have thought she would have been elected a long time ago.
Well, she's only been out 1 year, which I didn't know.
Well, I guess you're from the pros and stuff, but I mean, obviously, well deserved. Yeah. I think she'll go into the Naismith at some point, which is a bigger honor. But clearly, a penultimate superstar in the game of women's basketball.
Absolutely.
I agree. And I know that Maria is excited for tonight. They have all the girls coming back.
Women, Steve, women.
I'm still a chauvinist. But yes, Maria said Diana, Sue, Swin,
60
Asia.
women.
Yeah,
60
they're all
former Huskies.
They're all going to be there for
Unbelievable.
and it's Maria's birthday too, so she's excited for that.
Oh, happy birthday, Maria!
It's crazy that it's I asked Maria this. Do you think anyone will come close to touching this record once Geno breaks it? Do you think anyone's going to stay 40 years in one place or coach for 40 years in this generation with, how tough it is?
Doubtful.
Yeah, I do
highly
too.
doubtful.
I do too. But then, as you mentioned, we got to see the men play, and they definitely look better. They look like they're improving. They played. Was it East Texas A&M first?
Don't tell the head coach that.
Well, he's going to say they played horrible regardless. I know. But I mean, they against the East Texas A&M, you didn't see as much production as you had from the past from at least Mahaney and Solo. Well, Solo had 12, but he had scored 14 and 17 before.
Well, Mahaney had 10. He hadn't. I don't know how many of the games he'd been in double figures.
Yeah, he had 17. Yeah,
Caravan didn't score as many.
Right.
McNeely didn't score as many. Reed was good again. Right. I thought Diarra was good again. Ross shot the ball horribly, except for the posterizing dunk and one other field goal. I know a lot of people were talking up Ahmad Noel coming out, but my point would be, where's he going to see playing time?
Right. Yeah, I mean they're so deep. Where will he see playing time? And I totally agree with you. But I really liked watching McNeely. I just didn't see the physicality with him that you saw those first two games. He didn't seem to be as physical inside. I mean, I know he's only 6'7" and he's on the wing, but I think he can do more inside that he isn't.
Well, he's not an inside player, though.
I know he's not, but I mean, he can go in and he can play with his back to the rim, right? Or no, that's not his strength.
No. He's not.
No.
He's not a power forward. If anybody's going to do that, it's going to be your centers or Alex or Jalen Stewart. But no, McNeely's not. McNeely knows how to play his game.
Right. It would be Samson Johnson. Would he be the guy to play with his back?
Yeah,
okay.
Johnson and Raw and Reed, and not even Caravan, because Caravan's is an outside shooter. Where McNeely and Caravan stand out is their ability to drive and slash to the hoop. Same as Solo, same as Jaden Ross.
Right. I agree. I just was surprised watching this game. Because East Texas A&M I had never heard of. You told me they were somebody else beforehand.
Texas A&M Commerce.
UConn looked in control the whole game, but it just kind of seemed like they didn't play as well as they had the last two games.
Look, they're intelligent kids. They're intelligent 18 to 22-year-olds who knew that this was their fourth easy game in a row. Saturday, they're getting on a plane and flying to Maui. And from things you read, it sounds like it's the last time UConn wants to go to Maui, which I get. It's a long trip. There's not as many. But, I read one thing where it said there's not as many NIL opportunities in Maui. Is that what we're all about now? Is NIL opportunities? Is that taking over the entire face of college athletics?
Well, they get paid to go to Maui, don't they?
So no, they go to a tournament. They're looking to pick up NIL. They could actually pick up additional NIL opportunities at a tournament.
Well, no. I think the point is you don't do that there. If you stay home,
got it.
You can make money.
I could
That's
see them going. I understand what he's saying. Like if you go to Maui, they could have NIL deals to promote the tournament with some of the players.
No, they don't do that. I don't think you
and
can
they
do
don't
that.
do that. Yeah.
I don't think you can do that.
You don't think you can do that?
No, I don't think you can.
Oh, okay. But I mean, the Maui was always one of the most popular tournaments early on that teams wanted to play in, wasn't it?
Well, it was always the best. It was always the best field.
Yes.
It's Maui. It's you can bring your boosters and your supporters who can afford it, and it's a nice getaway for them. But I read this week where it's long travel. Trust me, I know that firsthand, and that
they would charter too.
Well, not everybody. They've never chartered before this year to Maui. If they're chartering this year, it's the first time.
Oh, okay. But otherwise, they have their own Learjet that they go on for most of their away games. Correct?
Well, no, it's not there. No, it's not theirs. It's not. There's a couple of companies, just like it was with football. There's a couple of companies that are in the charter business. You get the charter flight, but no, UConn doesn't. And you're not flying 40 people on a Learjet.
That's okay. Yeah, that's true. You're not going to fly 40 people on a Learjet.
And you got to stop. Yeah. I mean, if you leave from Bradley, you got to stop somewhere. You got to stop
and refuel
on the West Coast and refuel.
Right.
I mean, we had times. There was at least once that under Jim they played a game at Pepperdine in Malibu. And then flew out to Maui the next day.
Oh, okay, that would make sense.
To break up the trip.
Yeah, that would make a lot more sense. What did you think? I mean, I obviously was looking at Lemoyne. They definitely played better against Lemoyne. Caravan did for sure. It was good to see him score, and Liam McNeely was back, but he just is he gonna be a double guy? Do you see him consistently or no?
No, I don't see him getting double figure rebounds.
He's gonna be a scorer.
He's your scorer. He's gonna be a scorer. And I've seen other people say this, and I'm not being critical, but I thought Caravan was fine last night. So
I thought Caravan was very good. Yeah,
he only took 5 shots last night. Big deal.
Yeah,
he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that starting Monday.
Right. I understand what you're saying. Like they're preparing for this long trip and this tournament that could be definitely a bear to take on, and they're going to be playing against better competition. So,
well, they could play. They could play us 3 and 2 drunks and play better competition than they've played.
Okay, if you put it that way. Dave, did you get a chance to see the Lemoyne UConn?
No, I just watched some of the highlights, and the thing that I talked with Joe about briefly, but in particular, picking it just so people don't get the wrong idea. So while we're waiting, what was interesting was Hurley, and Joe said it was kind of a show, was all over the younger guys. And I thought that was it was definitely entertaining, but it's also something that I feel like has become like a Hurley
Hurleyism
like staple. So
yeah.
Well, I mean, like how he gets on the players and kind of rips them to a certain extent. It's kind of part of his like shtick, if and it's obviously it's his personality. Obviously, that's how he coaches. Right. But the media has really played that up a ton.
Yes, yes, they do.
I noticed that. I mean, I'm curious from Joe's standpoint if he thinks that that's a long run positive or negative. I don't know.
It depends how the kids take it, Coach.
How
I
they
think it all
respond to
depends.
it.
I think coaches know who they can poke and who they can't. I think to me, that's one of the most important parts of the coaching psyche is who you can climb on, who you can give crap to, and who you have to treat with kid gloves. And, I thought the interesting thing about Dan's going off last night was he addressed the sophomore class specifically at one point. He's talking to Ball and Jaden and Jalen at that point and saying you had 4 turnovers, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. I thought that was significant. I thought that was like, okay, this is you're part of you're part of this now. It's not a year ago. You're part of this now. We
need you.
Right.
Yeah, we need you.
Right.
And I wholeheartedly agree with you, Joe.
It certainly makes me feel better about my position, Steve.
Well, he also he used the word specifically the sophomore class.
Right. Exactly.
He actually used the specific words like those two. Was it 2 guys or 3 guys? But
3 guys.
He used specifically the sophomore class needs to do their part. Which I thought was really interesting. Obviously, they highlighted that. Like, that was the thing they highlighted. That was a little part of the show that the media side obviously, puts out there. But I did think that because that's why I was curious about that. Because
can I just say one thing again? That last night, that's not the media. That's not the print guys. That's Fox Sports 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Telecast.
Right.
Yeah, that was the other thing I wanted to ask you, Joe.
I agree. That's what I meant. Yeah.
I was, trying to watch some of the women's games, and they're on SNY.
Yep.
And in New York, we're upstate New York, it's very difficult to find SNY because they're typically on CBS Sports, the network, or you can get the UConn Huskies app, but they don't show it in live time. What's their agreement with SNY? Is it just for the women?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And look, you can get SNY nationwide on
yes, you can.
And all that. And they've been on SNY for some 12 years or so, but that's going away.
Yes.
Next year because the Big East signed a deal with NBC. I think next year, and watch women's fans lose their crap next year when they have to go to try to find
they gotta go to Peacock
to find women's games.
Well,
there was when they left CPTV to go to SNY, there was a great hue and cry. And next year it's going to be even worse.
Well, I mean, NBC obviously is giving the Big East a better chunk of change for it.
Yes, right.
So they have to take it because the television money, like we talked about with football, that's going to be coming into play. This is the first year that they're going to be paying players out of that revenue. UConn's not going to have that. Right. So that's really going to set them apart. And that's why they're going to have to raise more in NIL money because they're not going to have the $20 million. Apparently $15 million is going to be allocated for football and $5 million will go to the other sports to try to give them money. And then the rest is NIL. But just the whole way that it's run is blows my mind that they let it get so out of control to this point.
I mean, yeah, but they almost had to because
with the the Supreme Court. Yeah, I agree.
You can't have coaches making a gazillion dollars and their players not making a nickel.
Not making anything off of it. Yeah, I agree. I think there was a window in time where Charlie Baker could have gotten together with the commissioners and tried to regulated or put a cap on how much teams could spend to keep some sort of parity, because there's not going to be parity once the television money goes into place, combined with the NIL money.
That's if you're interested in parity. Nobody said that they're interested in parity.
But isn't that what makes the tournament so great?
I don't think anyone's interested in parity,
right?
At all. Okay. I think the average fan, other than the one team that's this each year that's got a Cinderella run, the one or two teams. Other than that, I think the average fan wants to see the big powerhouse programs in the mix, and then they want to see the one Cinderella team that's fighting them going all the way through.
I totally agree.
Reality TV.
Look at the way Indiana's getting screwed by the college football playoff committee.
Yeah, they're ranked 5th right now, and they're undefeated, 10-0 going.
Well, and they have been ranked 9th.
Yeah,
they were. They're not treated with any respect. Now they can fall on their face this week against Ohio State and lose their last game, but to me, that's just proof that of what Dave was saying, which I totally agree with. Unless you root for a team, you always in football, you always want to see Alabama, you want to see Georgia, you want to see Penn State, you want to see Notre Dame, you want to see Michigan and Ohio State. In basketball, you want to see UConn, you want to see Duke, you want to see Kentucky, you want to see Kansas, you want to see North Carolina. Unless you root for a team, you could give a rat's ass about the 4th place team in the NEC that makes a run in the NCAA tournament. Now, once they get to a certain stage, once they get to the Sweet 16, then people take an interest in them. But before that, nobody cares.
No, nobody does. No, it's all about the big programs. And you're right.
When VCU went very far into the tournament, where they go to
with Shaka Smart, right?
I can't remember how deep it was, but deep. But until they got to that point, it was kind of like a blip, and then they got all the way in there, and then everybody was rooting for VCU. But I think it was like the next year or something, they didn't go as far. No, nobody cared. No, literally nobody cared. That's why Shaka Smart had to move on. That's why Shaka Smart had to go take a big job, because he saw what was going to happen.
He saw the writing on the wall.
Obviously, the money too.
Look at the ratings they got for the World Series this year. You had the Yankees and the Dodgers. You had two biggest teams in the two biggest markets. And they broke. They broke the roof. Now, if it had been Yankees Mets, nobody outside of the Northeast would have cared. It would have gotten terrible biggest
payrolls. I think the 2 biggest payrolls,
the Mets payroll is bigger than the Yankees.
The 2 of the 3 biggest payrolls, right? In baseball is Met, because the Mets pay insane amount of money. The 2 of the 3 biggest payrolls also, and it got the biggest viewership, which is just like in I think in basketball, when you have women's is a little different. Because obviously UConn's a powerhouse, and the win stuff is emerging with the different teams, and is kind of like a fluid thing. Obviously, South Carolina, UConn, now LSU there's emerging teams like USC and other teams. But basketball, I think, with those established conferences like SEC, the Big Ten, you're going to see a desire from those top tier fan bases to want those teams to come up, and most of the national people will want whoever the perennial best teams are for the most part to have a chance in there. And then obviously you have UConn, who's in the Big East. So I think the fans like that, and then whoever is the underdog that year. That's it.
It's gonna be interesting to see how it shakes out, especially with Oregon ranked number 1 as a Big Ten school. I just thought that was crazy. They're first year in the Big Ten, they're ranked number 1.
Well, they're now part of the establishment. They were kind of outside. Indiana's going to get screwed, I think, on the football side of this. I think Indiana, if they lose, they will get screwed because
look at Florida State last year.
Yep.
Right. But with 12 teams though, Indiana should get in that large bid at least.
Not if they lose 2 in a row.
No,
if they go 10-2. I don't think they get in.
They don't get in at all.
I think they'd rather take. I don't think there's any question that they'd rather take a 3-loss team from the SEC than a 2-loss Indiana team. I don't even think if it's Georgia or Alabama or even Tennessee, they'd much rather take a 3-loss SEC team.
Joe, I wanted to ask you just because I was looking at the Maui Invitational.
Yes, Steve.
They open up against Memphis.
Yep.
And Memphis played North Carolina fairly tough. They lost to Alabama. And, they've been on a 3-game winning streak. I mean, they beat Missouri, UNLV, Ohio. Do you think UConn is going to match up well against Memphis?
I haven't looked at Memphis, but look, UConn played them for years.
Yes.
In the American Athletic Conference. Now, these are much different times.
Correct.
But I think everybody in Maui is pretty competitive. I don't think, barring something unforeseen, you're not going to see 30, 35-point wins.
Right.
They're
going to be close games.
Without looking at Memphis and their size and whatever, I think every game there is going to be pretty competitive. Now, for 2 years, we've said that about the NCAAs, and UConn's beaten everybody by double digits.
Yeah,
but that was later in the season.
Turned it on
after everybody had their roles. Everybody knew what they were doing and stuff. This is different. This is early. This is November.
So they beat Memphis and obviously Colorado, Michigan State. Do you think Michigan State's going to win that one?
No idea. I can't. I got to tell you, I haven't looked at any of the teams.
I think Michigan State.
I think you have too much free time on your hands.
I do. Thanks, Joe. I do have a lot of free time on my hands. No, I was trying to have some preparation, so I didn't.
That's good.
Like an idiot.
We like when you're prepared.
Is there anyone else on the list you're going to go off of that are ranked ahead of me? The guys got a kick out of that one, by the way.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
glad I can entertain.
Yes, you entertained. That Billy Irwin was on the list ahead of me. I think was highway robbery, and I would like a recount. I'm judge and jury, so you're screwed. Let's just put it that way. I am judge and jury. You're screwed. I'm prosecutor, judge, and jury. Yeah, you are. That's your list, and you're entitled to your opinion. Thank you for that. It's a free. I really appreciate that. It's a free country. So they're going out to Maui this coming Monday. So they're off until then. And then they're going to be in Maui until Wednesday. Right. And then they come back and then they're playing University of Maryland, South Shore, right? Eastern Shore. Close. Okay. And that's when it picks up. That's when Baylor, Texas. Well, but the UMES is not pick up. That's a step back from whatever. Correct. Yes. But then it picks up. Then Maui will be the test. Baylor, then you've got Texas. Then you've got Gonzaga. And then you launch into the Big East. And then the Maui Invitational, being that this could be their last time, they could want to go and send a message and come through and win. And I think that would be huge leading into their next couple of tough games. And then they start the Big East play. Well, I don't think they look at Maui. They look at Maui as sending a message because of the field, not because it's the Maui Invitational. Because the team's you can playing run through, like in 2010, the year that Kemba's year, they beat Wichita State, who was really good, Michigan State, who was really good,
and Kentucky, who they would end up seeing in the Final Four.
Right.
So I don't know if you've got that strength of field this time around. It's good. I don't know if it's great.
Right. Because is it done? It's done by obviously invitational. You're invited to go to it. So they invited Memphis, they invited Colorado State, they invited Michigan State. These teams were invited, and you accept the invitation, and you obviously get a payday to go to it. Correct?
You know what, Steve? I don't know if you get a payday to play there.
Okay.
I think a lot of it. I mean, I'm sure they pay for your expenses.
Right.
Which, considering it's airfare to Hawaii is not cheap. Hotel rooms in Hawaii are not cheap, but I don't think you get. And again, I've never heard of that, but maybe it is. But I don't think you get paid just to go to Maui.
But I mean, looking at the Big East schedule, I mean, they really should run through it. I mean,
pump your brakes a little bit there, partner.
Well, I know Creighton and I know Marquette. St. John's is going to be better. Nova, maybe.
Nova stinks.
Nova's
a train wreck.
Yeah. So
he'll be lucky to survive the year.
So, I mean, could it be the same situation where they get 3 teams into the tournament?
No, I think they'll get more. I think last year was an abomination. I think you're looking at Marquette, UConn, Creighton, St. John's, maybe Seton Hall right off the top. And then depending
Seton
on
Hall.
Yeah. I mean, even though they're out of the gates a little bit slow, he's a pretty good coach. And look, here's the thing: we've only played 3 or 4 games.
No, I know.
Most of these teams have not played competition like they'll see in the Big East.
No,
so it's kind of hard to judge what a team's got as far as off of this. Like Creighton played Kansas City. Well, unless Bobby Witt Jr. went 4 for 4, it's not going to be big competition.
I got you. And is there, I don't know if you know this, but the women, when they play tonight, they beat Fairleigh Dickinson. Are they presenting Geno with a trophy or honoring him or anything after the game?
I think there'll be some sort of, I don't know if it's a trophy because I don't think he'd go for that.
No.
But I'm sure there'll be some post-game festivities.
Okay, good.
Which will all be available on SNY.
Which is SNY?
To be honest with you, next year if this happened, the odds are Peacock goes right off as soon as the game ends. You don't get a lot of the
you're right. Yeah, they do.
When you're on national. And SNY has a 4-part special they've done on Geno and Chris. There's always on sports night, if it's before a UConn game, there'll always be a little bit of a preview. Things will change next year, and people have to be ready for it.
Was the contract significantly more? Is that why they jumped to NBC, Peacock?
Well, I think NBC, Peacock, all those people said we want women's basketball too. Because of UConn.
Oh, okay. I got you. I didn't know it was strictly because they wanted women's basketball. But right now, that's what draws in the advertising. It's all live sports. So that makes the most sense out of everything.
Yep.
And then just I quickly wanted to get your opinion. UConn playing at Syracuse. This could be a huge opportunity to get a win over an ACC team that's also 7-3 and put us in great position to go to a better bowl game. Syracuse has Kyle McCord. They've been throwing the ball all over the yard. UConn has not. And from what I've been told, Nick Evers is probably doubtful for this game.
Right.
They're going to be playing with
Which
Joe.
I think gives him a better chance.
I agree, which I never thought I'd say, but I agree now after that. What do you see for UConn Syracuse?
Well, let's look at the UConn schedule. They played Maryland. They got beat.
Destroyed, yes.
They played Duke. They got beat.
Well, yeah.
A loss is a loss.
Yep, they lost, whether it's by 1 or by 100.
It doesn't matter. A loss is a loss.
A loss is a loss.
They played Wake Forest, and granted, they got hosed on a call at the end, but
it was a loss.
But there's no guarantee they were going to go down and kick a field goal. They lost. No. So the 3 best teams on their schedule, they've lost to. This is a road game. People are poo-poo.
I'm going to it.
People are poo-pooing Syracuse too much. Syracuse is 7-3. They haven't done this, sleight of hand of stuff. No. So, I think it's an uphill climb for UConn.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen what the spread is.
10.5.
Yeah. See, I think here's the thing you learn, and Dave knows this. Bookies know what they're talking about.
They do. Vegas always knows.
Vegas always
knows.
So if they're a 10.5-point underdog, then that means they've got work to do. Now, can they win? Sure.
Yes.
Is the program in a better spot than it was last year? Of course.
Yes.
He's done a terrific job identifying talent and bringing talent in. Although I think the quarterback was a reach. But the quarterback came because they wanted Skylar Bell.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around. So they wanted Skylar Bell and Evers.
Well, you know what? Maybe it was. Maybe I got that wrong. But one half of the proposition paid off, and one half didn't.
Right. And they're going to have to worry about keeping Skylar Bell because he could get boohoo bucks in the transfer portal. That's the only concern that I had.
Well, how many schools has he already been at, though?
I thought he was just at Wisconsin. I didn't think he was a two-year transfer.
I don't know that. That's
Dave?
True.
I'm not
Dave?
Sure. I know it was Wisconsin. I don't know if he was anywhere before. Quarterback's bit. This is his third school.
Yeah, quarterback Evers is his third. Yes, I'm going to check because I am curious. I thought that
UConn football definitely has a better chance if they have Joe in their offense.
Yeah, I agree.
I just think he's a better quarterback.
Yep.
And I think games like this, you got to put the ball in the air.
Oh, no, they have to because Kyle McCord's thrown for 3,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions, and 5 of them came in the one game.
And this is only the second school for Bell.
Yes.
So it was Wisconsin in there.
Yes.
So we'll see. I mean, they have a puncher's chance.
Yeah.
It's not like going into Maryland where you knew they were going to go whacked, and they did. Or last year going to Tennessee, they
had a better schedule this year.
It's Syracuse, and
we're 6-6 all time against them,
right? Which people seem to forget. But having said that, there's still a disparity between the ACC and independents.
Yes. And going into next year, it's only going to be us and Notre Dame as independents.
Right. And the other thing, and this has been brought up by Mora in the loss to Wake Forest, you got ACC officials. Now, I don't think ACC officials, when they reach for the flag, are thinking, I want to protect my ACC team. Right? I just don't. I'm sorry, I don't buy that. I think officials have more integrity than that.
Yeah, I don't either.
But maybe the ACC officials aren't as good as Big 12 and SEC and Big 10 officials. To me, that's the question.
Right. I agree with you there.
It's not that they're throwing a flag on UConn because they're playing Wake Forest. And my God, it's Wake Forest. What has Wake Forest done in football?
They were 2-4 going into that game.
Right. It's not Florida State or Miami. So
yeah.
Again, I
wonder if they have familiarity familiar with players if you're from the same conference. I don't think they're purposely trying to like target a team or go against them. But I wonder if there is something to the fact that if I've seen this team a couple of times, and I haven't seen another team, and I see a certain, I don't know, hold or style of blocking that I haven't seen from a certain guy, or I don't know that this guy's any good. I wonder if there's something there when you're at a conference. I'm purely speculating, but that wouldn't surprise me. I'm thinking slightly about, and I don't know from when I was in college because I couldn't, we basically only played the Yankee conference, and usually if we didn't play Yankee conference, it was really weaker opponents. But just from high school, when you play a team that was from another, like an out of conference game, and it was their kind of officials, that I think there's sometimes was familiarity with certain players, like this guy's good. And I wonder if that has a indirect influence. It's not a direct influence, but like an indirect influence. Like this guy is a great player in our conference, and
I
they
think
know
that's more. I think that's more realistic than we just got screwed because we're an independent and they're an ACC team.
I agree with Dave because I got called for holding when we played against Miami like 3 times. So I think they had it out for me because we weren't in the Big East.
It wasn't the fact that the kid was 30 times faster than you.
Jerome McDougal. Yeah, he wasn't 30 times faster than me. No. So as we go, UConn tonight, Fairleigh Dickinson. Geno obviously gets his win and breaks the all-time record, 40th year. It's going to be a huge celebration.
Yep.
I think that all the way, right?
As it should be.
Okay. UConn, Memphis. Tough matchup. Do you think UConn takes care of Memphis?
Again, yes, I would. Yes.
From what
I think UConn should take care of anybody who they play there. Well, do they? That's why they play the games.
Yeah. Dave?
Well, I would agree. I think UConn women will, it's FDU.
It would be the greatest upset in sports. It would make Tyson Buster Douglas look like nothing.
Or Tyson Jake Paul.
Oh, please.
And I do think, that was the fix was in there on some level. I don't know what kind of fix it was, but it was some fix. So FDU, first of all, the girls are not going to let it happen. I mean, not on Geno night.
No, they won't.
Nor are the women.
The women.
You got him. You got me. The women. See, Steve is like is clouding my head. But yes,
you two are such chauvinists. It's unbelievable.
We are. That's why we make such a good team. That's why we make such a good team.
But the men, I think they'll win. One of the things that I do notice with Hurley is that obviously he wants to win every single game, but he really does play, I think, psychologically the long game with his players.
Yep.
And all these things he's doing
they
early on, even if they do lose, a game or two here or there or whatever, it's all designed to get them to the finish line in the end for the championship. And that's what I've noticed him the last few years. Like he's taking all these steps now to get them there. So I think they'll win. Long and short is I think they'll beat Memphis. But if they lose in the regular season, a few games, I'm not going to be surprised because I think all those become learning things for his team. And then
I'd rather it happen then.
This just in, they're not going 39-0.
No,
right?
No. So I'd rather it happen then. And then let's hope that UConn takes it to Syracuse because I get to go to the game. So I don't want to waste my time. And if they get smoked, then I'm just going to have to eat a lot of cotton candy. They have great cotton candy at the Dome.
You'll be tailgating before anyways.
Yeah, I might be tailgating before. I might have a few cocktails.
Cotton candy, huh? That's your thing?
Yeah, when I was there last week, I told you for my high school team that was there for the championship. They had the best cotton candy I've ever had.
Let me ask you a question. What does bad cotton candy taste like?
Bad cotton candy is not warm. I don't like it when it's cold. I like it when it's nice and warm and you can pull at it and it sticks to your fingers. And that's what I had. It stuck to my fingers. I could lick my fingers.
You could say that about a lot of things.
Yes, you got it. So
they're better when they warm.
Yes, they're much better when they're warm. They're much better. Yes. So for the coach himself, Coach Schuman, Dave Schuman, Coach Schuman's Sports and Entertainment, smash that subscribe button so you can get notified of all our programming. And we're going to get to 1 million subscribers. We're at 978,000, I believe. And then
hold on. Let's get the facts correct on that.
I checked before I came on.
Is 999,109.
Oh, so we're not 20,000.
Less than 900 away.
See, it's because of my programming. It's all because of the entertainment value I add. That's okay. I'm humble and I accept it with grace. And for the icon himself, Joe D, the voice of the Huskies, providing us with expert analysis on what to expect from the girls, the women, the men.
Well, I'm going to give you two a homework assignment. Seriously. Before next Wednesday, I want you both to write. I will call the UConn basketball team women.
We're gonna have a fine jar if we call them girls. We'll have to have a.
You know what? Yes, there's gonna be a $5 fine every time you say that word.
Yes. For the icon, Joe D, and the voice of the Huskies, I am Steve Cully, the best podcast and radio host in the universe. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges. Throw them right back at life.